What's going on, everybody? It's Falchion with you once again, and once again, we're here for another episode of Borderless Gaming GSA. And I want to apologize to you guys right off the bat for being atomically wrong, according to Geek. I'm like a minute and something late, so my bad. I don't know what happened. My
Two and a
atomic
half minutes.
2.5 minutes. My atomic positioning is off or something. I don't know. But what's going on, guys? How's the week been for you two?
It's been a good week.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what I meant to queue up. I had some gameplay with Lady A, and we got me through the story on the Witch Queen story on my Titan.
Nice.
I still got to
Evil.
go back and do my Hunter and my Warlock, but one character is better than none.
Did you
Yeah,
do it on Legendary?
No, Lady A was not having it.
Ooh. You got to go back and hit that on Legendary on one of those. That's
Evil
damn
said
hard.
Evil said you're weak.
Not weak. It's a different experience on Legendary. That's all I can say.
Evil said to remove you. Blip. No.
I actually played a lot on Legendary solo, got nowhere.
Wow.
And so playing through it with Lady A got me to 1510 from 1350.
What's going on, Andrea? Glad you could make it. Thank you for
Hey,
hanging
Andrea.
out. Nice.
Andrea, I held off on showing Falchion any new gear. There's a ton of stuff that I wanted to show him, but I was like, yeah, I'm not stepping into that minefield.
I mean, there's that new mic you showed me, but we won't get into that.
It's a $24 mic. So I feel secure in that.
Yeah, actually, you definitely go for the higher dollar things normally. So I'm sure she's really happy. That's all you told me. See, she appreciates that.
I do try, Andrea. I do try.
So what about you, Evil? What have you been into this week?
The new season on Destiny. That obviously dropped, so grinding away at that. And I suppose the biggest thing is we got the VR headset this week, so.
Oh yeah.
That's opened my eyes up massively to gaming experience.
All right, let's talk about that for a second. I know we don't have too much time. Geek has no faith in it. So, and I could be wrong. You could hate it, and this whole thing blows up in my face right now. But tell me your thoughts on it.
Mind blown, absolutely mind blown. Like the fact that when you put that on, you lose concept of what's real and what's the game. You just lose yourself in the world. I've played a lot of games using it, just trying different things.
Mm-hmm.
I even done a flight on Flight Sim, and that just wow, blown away.
Nice. I haven't even messed with it in Flight Sim yet, and Microsoft. I've used it in DCS World, but not in Microsoft Flight Sim. So that's awesome.
I'd have to say the biggest issue I've got with it is when I've taken it off. Sometimes it's you end up like looking at your hands, thinking, "Are these my real hands?"
Right. So you made a point, and it's one that I found to be very true. Whereas, well, you didn't say this specifically, but you spoke kind of along the lines of this, is where the graphics in there don't matter. Like your character in there could be a total cartoon looking character, but it still becomes very real, and suddenly everything shifts and it's very real to you, no matter what it actually looks like, as long as it makes sense to what you're seeing. Like you can't be like bad graphics, but the graphics don't have to be real, true to life graphics for you to get so lost in there in that way.
Yeah, I mean one of the games I've played through and really enjoyed on it this week is what's it called? I Expect You to Die.
Yes, that is a great game.
Yeah, you get so engrossed in that because you're going to die. That's the point of the game because you learn something new every time.
Right.
It's and that's not. I wouldn't say that's got realistic graphics. It's one of those cartoony games, but that still pulls you in.
Yeah, and like you really get into searching for the things that you need so that you don't die. it's
Yeah.
it's such a fun game. But yeah, that's pretty awesome. I'm glad that glad that you're enjoying it. What I've got to know is have you tried Phasmophobia, and uh has Sweetie Pie tried Phasmophobia?
I've tried it briefly for a couple of games, but I've had some teething issues. It's one of those games that that they say you can play it seated,
Hmm.
but it doesn't seem to work seated. So I've been playing around to see if I can get it work for seated play, but if not, I'm just going to bite the bullet and play it standing.
Is it a
Um,
height issue?
yeah, it's like when you obviously drop some equipment on the floor,
Hmm.
and what it is it doesn't matter how you you can set up the guardian zone so that the floor's like at your knees. But in Phasmophobia, when you reach down to pick that thing up on the floor, you just can't reach far enough.
Got you.
So, but I mean, if it's one of those games that you do just play standing, that's no biggie. I'm sure. I played a bit of standing the other night, and yeah, it's definitely freaky.
Nice. That's awesome.
Tweety Pie, no, I need to get her set up on the headset yet and bring her into the VR world, and I think we'll probably be purchasing another one of those in no time at all.
Nice. That's so awesome. I'm so glad to hear that I'm not the only one went through that. I had to have my wife have a VR as well once I really got into it, and she really enjoys it now. Even though actually it's kind of my fault. She asked me to hook it up on her new PC, and I just haven't done it yet. So maybe I'll do that tonight if I remember.
I've only got one regret with the VR headset so far,
What's that?
and that's that it took so long to get it.
Yeah, I'm glad to
Definitely.
hear that. I'm glad to hear that. I gotta assume that you've been enjoying racing with that thing.
I've not done much racing, but for what I have, that's well, I've had a spin and a bit of a crash that was enough to make you flinch a little bit. So
Yeah, awesome, awesome.
roll on F122. That's going to be a lot of fun.
Oh yeah, yes, for sure. Well, I guess we should get into it. Let's start with today in J Law's gaming history. 20 years ago, Medal of Honor Frontline dropped on the PS2. Trying to remember. No, that would be before I met Geek. It was a different Medal of Honor. Uh, we didn't start playing the PlayStation until the PS3. You and I, like after we had done a lot of time on the 360, but it's a game that stands out to me, and that's why I chose that one this week. So yeah, Medal of Honor Frontline, 20 years ago. Man, I'm old. Yeah. Something a little new for you guys today is public service announcement. Pardon me. So for those of you that are on PC and have Epic, the free games this week are all three BioShock games, and also at Sam's Club, if you have it. I don't know if you guys have it where you are, Evil. There's a Series S bundle in stock this week, and that bundle is had it right here. That's not the right thing. is $379.98. It comes with the, of course, the console controller or whatever. It also comes with a headset, a wireless headset, and what looks like a remote. But I cannot get it to go bigger than it is. Hold on a second. Maybe I can. Yeah, an Xbox remote. So, $379.98. So just under $400 for that. But to be honest with you, I think you can probably pretty easily just find them in like GameStop at this point. Normal. What's going on, Natty? Glad you could make it. I'm well. We all hope that you're well, and we appreciate you joining us tonight. Is that it? Yeah, that's it. So on with the actual news. Geek, seems that you have something to tell us about Sony's game list for the up and coming PlayStation Plus tiers.
Okay. It's this. Okay. So they revamped that PlayStation Plus list. It was pretty much as we expected. But Sony has confirmed this list, and there's still some that are rumored or alleged to being included in that list, but they haven't made an official statement yet. Ape Escape, Siphon Filter, Falchion.
Yeah, I'm big fan of Siphon Filter.
I kind of remember us playing that. Wild Arms 3, Tekken 2, which was a big game that I played a lot. And there are some more. There was a list of PS1 titles that they released, I believe, in the Japan market.
Right.
And your favorite person was talking about that, Marlon.
Of course. So you got a bunch of inaccurate. You know what? My bad. Shouldn't even go there. My fault. Sorry. Go ahead.
Yes. For once, not so inaccurate, because he stuck to the release list and he actually played it. So there was some accuracy there. So as you look at the screen, you can see, a lot of the games list there. God of War is part of it. Ghost of Tsushima Director's Cut. So these are games that were on, I believe, Extra and Premium. And it's funny how a lot of those games you had to have Premium to play them.
Right. My problem is looking at that list. I've played almost all those games. Like they're, yeah. Like, so what is there to draw in PlayStation players that have been with PlayStation from the beginning?
Okay, that's not what this is for. This is not for people in our age group who have been there from the beginning. There's a whole new generation of players who are just coming of age. My son, perfect example, Evan. Evan is 21 because Friday TJ made 20. I just had to throw that in there
Oh, tell them I said happy birthday.
in case they watch or watch the replay. So we spoke of them. Evan is 21, and there are a lot of games that you and I played. Good evening, Keisha.
Hey, Keisha.
Good evening.
I have a
And
question for you later as well, Keisha.
there are a lot of games that we played that Evan hasn't. I don't know that Evan played Siphon Filter. Actually, I do know that he has, but he was very young. You know, he's 21 and the game is how many years old? It's almost as old as he is.
So,
if not older, actually.
to you, this is good marketing because to me,
No, it's not
the
good
lion's
marketing.
share of people are in our age group or slightly younger and will have played most of these games. So if you're just marketing towards 21 and younger, I mean you're missing out on a huge section of the people that actually play your games.
Okay. Marketing is done to the young. Evan, who now has his job and he can afford that $15 premium tier, and he can play a bunch of great games that he's either never seen before or doesn't remember. And so that's hours of game time. Whatever his main game is that he's playing, he can now get out of that and get into some nostalgic game. And there's always something for him to play.
And it doesn't
And
seem sustainable to me, like, because for me and a lot of people like me, there's no reason to change my subscription from the basic PS Plus, because all those, or not all, of course, but most of those games, probably a good 80 to 90% of those games, I have I already own. I've already played. I've already beaten. Um, so Sony doesn't want my money.
you're not even listening to yourself. You said no reason to change your subscription. So they're already getting some of your money.
Yeah, but they don't want that $180 a year from me rather than that $60 a year from me.
They're getting something from you. It's not a loss. It's not a zero sum game.
Okay.
Remember, they're going to change at some point, because if they need more, if this is not sustainable, which I believe it's not, they can say, hey, we listen to our customers and value add by adding more.
I don't
And
see what
so
more they can add outside of, the only thing that would make this appealing to me is if they started going day and date, right? Because, I mean, this is a huge library of games, all great games. If you have not played these games, not all great games, but most of these games are really great. Most of these games I really enjoyed throughout my life, playing on the PlayStation. But if but because I already own these games, because I can actually go and plug in an older system, throw the disc into those systems and play them right now, doesn't make sense to me. But it doesn't have to make sense to me. It makes sense to Geek. That's what matters, right? What's
Hey, good
going
evening,
on,
Coach.
Coach? Yeah, a long time ago. He doesn't. He very rarely ever wears it. So it was just like, I mean, right now, Evil should be complaining that I haven't sent him his yet, but I actually got to get his. I got to get your address so that I can actually send you one because I do have it. But
Coach, I want to thank you for your assistance in putting pressure on Falchion, because without that pressure, I wouldn't have got my hat. Evil, let me know. We'll form a united front against Falchion to get your address and get this done. Because he'll make excuses. And we'll be doing the 30-year anniversary, still talking about your hat is
yeah. There we go.
Good evening, Coach.
So, moving on to other news, Evil, you've got some information as far as the whole iFixit thing went down. That went down last week.
Yeah, it was quite ironic. We obviously spoke about it on the Sunday. You know, it was like Valve maybe watched the show, because then throughout the announcement that all these parts that were accidentally listed is now officially available on iFixit. And I do believe the only part that you cannot buy from iFixit right now is the battery for inside the unit.
Right.
You could buy everything else, so they didn't say much about it. It was just a very short announcement telling you that you can go to iFixit and fix and repair the Steam Deck yourself now. So looks like it maybe got enough traction from the week before that they just pushed it live.
And that's really cool. I honestly believe Valve is one of those companies that are out there just trying to be consumer friendly and are actually succeeding. I will say this though, because we did speak about it a bit last week. I saw a pricing of everything, and it will actually cost you a little bit more to build it yourself. So there is that.
Yeah.
What's going on, Shadow?
Hey,
Doing
Shadowfire.
good. Hope you're doing good as well. Glad you can make it today, as usual. But yeah, that's really cool that they not only are allowing iFixit to throw this out there, and I mean that means people are going to be able to build their own. That means other companies are going to be able to build them. And I'm curious to see how exactly that goes, and what we might get from it a little bit later on down the line here. But
I don't see why another company would
build it.
Yeah, especially if you said it costs more to build it from parts. What's the motivation for another company to do it?
The one thing that I could probably see another company having motivation to do it would be the fact that they could put Windows on it for you, right? Valve is not doing that. They're not stopping it from happening, and you can absolutely do it yourself, but they're not doing it. And like for someone like me, not computer savvy at all, maybe willing to pay a little bit extra to have somebody to have a machine that Windows is already on once I get it in my hands outside, rather than me having to figure it out on my own. I mean, but in the overall, I can see what you're saying, because not only is Valve taking a big loss on these machines for their price structure, but they're making that up through Steam. You get a Steam Deck, then you are definitely buying games off of Steam, right?
You're in that ecosystem, yeah.
Yeah, so that's where they're going to make up their money. And then the way Valve actually prices games on Steam with what it's like 4 sales a year that are huge. I mean, these sales are huge, right? And so they're very much looking to make up the loss that they take on the decks themselves by the number of games and software that they sell for it. So I can see what you're saying there. But yeah, iFixit official repair list, and that's good. If that's really good because now you don't necessarily have to send your Steam Deck back to Valve. My question, and Evil, you can let me know if you happen to know this, is are they gonna, with these parts being so readily available now, can Valve push out the Steam Decks, more Steam Decks now, so that people are getting them faster? Because look, see the sadness on Geek's face. He's still waiting.
I am still waiting.
I'd assume, if they've got spare parts to throw out there for repairs, surely the production process of these units are actually speeding up. If you're able to sell so many to a company like iFixit, to be able to sell them on to us, the consumer, that they've got to be ramping up. Surely these things are going to be coming out a lot quicker now.
That's what I would think, and I know that like just before I got mine, they said that they were doubling the speed at which they were sending them out. So they were sending out the email once a week, and then just before I got mine, they switched it to twice a week. Um, so I guess I need to delve into that, and we'll try and let you guys know next week if there's any news about them sending them out even faster now that iFixit has released this list, and it seems like the parts are pretty readily available. But right quick, we need to pay some bills, guys. So we're gonna do a quick commercial here. Are you suffering from Game Pass burnout? Is that even a thing? No, it's not a commercial. I'm just joking. It's not a commercial. Kotaku this week put out this big editorial saying that people are suffering from what they have dubbed as Game Pass burnout because a couple of people on Twitter said that they're going to let their Game Pass subscription go until more first-party titles get released. You guys both have Game Pass. Are you guys suffering from Game Pass burnout?
Not even a little bit.
No, and I seen a direct reply to their post on Twitter that came from the Xbox Game Pass official Twitter account.
Mm.
And this is a direct quote of their reply that says, "Tell me you'll limit yourself to only AAA games without telling me you'll limit yourself to AAA games."
Yeah.
And that's a true point. There's too many people that think they're entitled to AAA games all the time from a subscription service like that.
Right.
There is so many indie games and smaller games in there that you'd be surprised how much enjoyment you'd actually get out of them.
It is surprising to think about how many people that AAA games are their sole focus. Like, I don't even feel like that's what Game Pass is about. I think the fact that you get those AAA games on top of it is like the icing on the cake, but the meat and potatoes of the whole thing seems to me to be these indie titles um, that they're pumping out multiples of, like, and I'm not talking like 2 or 3 a month. You're getting 10 to 20 new games a month that just aren't AAA titles. So there's always something to do, always something to play on Game Pass, and that to me is the issue that I'm seeing with Sony's premium or extra or whatever it's called. Is and it's kind of funny because when Game Pass really started getting rolling, a bunch of fans on the Sony side were saying how, it's old games. Why would you want to pay for old games? And Sony's only to this point giving you old games, right? Now, the games that are coming out on Game Pass may not be all AAA titles. Neither are the ones on Sony's side, but there are a bunch of new games, right? And that's why Game Pass for me is so sustainable, and that's why looking at the PlayStation's premium and what have you, looking at that from the side from a point of I have Game Pass makes it look so bad, right? Because I look at the list that Geek showed us earlier, and like I can just go in the other room, plug in a different console, an older console, and throw those discs into it and play. But here, on Game Pass, I'm getting new titles that maybe I wouldn't try, but because they're just there for me to download or stream, I do try them, and a lot of them I found that I enjoy. So I find myself being surprised how much I enjoy them. Geek.
I was kind of surprised to see you playing Elden Ring. And so,
Yeah, that's really not my type of game, to be honest with you.
and yet you played it and seemingly enjoyed it.
Oh yeah, I've got 200 hours in it.
There you go.
So that's pretty crazy.
So that's the fun of it. There are games that I wouldn't try, but since there are some times when I'm going, you know what? Let me just give this a shot. Saw you playing what was it? Armor,
yeah.
And then I downloaded and played it. Games that I might have missed, not a big title to me. I know it was huge on the PC, but I didn't play it, didn't have the connection to it. But since it was available to me, Game Pass, I played it. And so I'm not having Game Pass burnout. So I'm still finding things that when my subscription money comes out, there's no buyer's remorse.
Right.
I think there's like over, what's the last time I checked? There's over 300 games, I think, in total on that pass, spread across the ecosystem.
Right.
The article's a strange one. I mean, it came on a week that they had a day one release, a brand new technical AAA game, Sniper Elite.
Yep.
We've all got games that we play. You actually burn yourself out on games that you play all the time. Like, I know me personally, I'll get burnt out for games like Destiny 2. Sometimes you get so far in a season, you're burnt out. So you step away from it, and that's a good time to dip into some of these other games that's on the Game Pass. It's always good to be able to just dip in and out, try new things, and some hidden gems in that Game Pass, definitely.
Oh yeah, like I've been playing Sniper Elite 5 this week, and yeah, it really is. It actually is a AAA title, isn't it?
Yeah.
But I guess AAA titles on Xbox don't count if they're on the other platforms as well. But why would I get it somewhere else if it's a part of my subscription, right? Because there aren't features on a different platform that I'm missing on by playing it on Game Pass. So why would I spend another $60 or $70 to play it somewhere else when for my $15 a month as I have it, it's right there ready to go. And if you haven't tried it, it's fun. So give it a shot. It's definitely an enjoyable game. But yeah, I'm glad to hear that you guys aren't suffering from Game Pass burnout, because that's such a weird thing to me. And I don't know. It seems like Kotaku, as a journalistic, whatever you want to call them, really just want to incite anger in people, because it literally was like 10 people on Twitter that said that, and they weren't even being jerks about it or anything. They were just like, right now there's nothing on Game Pass I want. I'm gonna stop my subscription for a little while till things that I do want come out, and then I'll jump back on. Okay, that's cool. I don't see a problem with that. If you don't feel like you're getting your money out of it, yeah, you probably should stop it and be happy that it's gonna be there when you're ready to mess with it a little bit later on. So there you go. Glad you guys aren't suffering. I was worried that we were gonna get on here and one of you guys had the sweats from burnout, but you guys look fresh and clean, so fresh and so clean. Geek, you got some more information for us on the whole 40 series cards? What do you know?
Okay, so guys, Shadowfire, Keisha, Lady A, you guys are moving to PC gaming, and everybody's looking for the new level of cards. But I feel like we've been looking at it all wrong, because for those of you who think that we could just pull out our current cards and throw in this new card, au contraire, mon frere.
Great.
I'm doing this for you, Andrea. Trying to get him to slow down on the new item purchases. If you put that up for me, Falchion.
Gotcha.
Don't look. Oh, okay. The date, I wanted to get this out, because for the last couple of weeks I've been like scouring looking for date. The best I could get was fall of 2022. There's no specific date, but just fall of 2022.
Okay.
Is what I want to draw your attention to is the power draw of these cards. That 4090 card, that's the power draw for just the GPU. That's more than a current total system draw.
Time out. What in this list is the power draw?
The TDP like, to the far right.
Okay, thank you. I guess that's 600 watts.
That's the power draw for just the card.
But is W watts? Am I correct on that?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
And so at this current rate, I'm glad it makes you happy. Let's slow Falchion down.
You understand that he just wants to be able to surpass me in something, and you're aiding him in that.
Yeah, get it. I'm gonna get it first. But in order to do it, if this keeps going, I'm gonna have to change the power lines in my office.
Okay, wait. What? The power lines in your office? What?
Okay. If your current system is running at about 600 watts and you add in all the things that we have in our studio streaming, the lights, the microphones, mixers, all the things that we have going on, capture devices. You add all of that up, a 15 amp breaker, normal household powered circuitry, is about roughly, I'm doing the conversion in my head.
Shadow says that card is all you. He's good. He's cool with where he is right now.
You're not going to pass on it with the output of this card. I mean, you're going to get something for all that power draw. You may not get it up front, but I see Andrea.
That's right. That's right.
The conversion.
Do my best.
Before I forget it, the conversion is somewhere in the neighborhood 1600. Am I doing that right? Did I carry the one? I believe it's somewhere between 1600 1700 watts is the capacity of a 15 amp switch breaker in your household. So when you add up everything from your room, which we all have going through these outlets, these multiplexers, going into that one outlet, going to that one circuit, you're going to quickly overload that circuit. And then you need to change to a 20 amp, which is not that simple of a thing.
So wait. You're telling me right now, on this date, what's today's date? The 29th of May, 2022, at 7:12 p.m., that I'm going to have to rewire my house to be able to have a 4090 card?
Okay, we're not that far. I'm just saying if it keeps going in this direction. What I am telling you is your lovely wife got you that new system. What's the power supply in your new system, Falchion?
650.
Okay. Look at the 4090, sir.
600.
And now you add in your CPU, your SATA drives. You're going to have to change that power supply, sir.
No, I can accept having to change my power supply in my PC. I accept that. I can accept that.
I'm not advocating, Andrea, that he get a new power supply.
No, I mean, that's cool. I gotta change out my power supply. You know, that okay. I've had to do that before. But what my feeble brain heard was you telling me that I gotta rewire my house. Or at the very least, I gotta go into my breaker box and switch out my circuit breaker to be able to run this thing, or it's gonna blow fuse every time I try to game and stream and have the lights on and cameras. Like, you just told me that this show is about to end because I can't stream anymore. We're done.
Sir, don't be so dramatic. You're gonna have to go back to your old graphics card that's been working well for you.
Nope, I'm gaming top of the line. You heard him, Andrew.
That's not what I said, Andrew.
Shadow says most consumers won't be able to handle this kind of power, so they're going to be forced to pass. And
I mean,
that's what I'm like. Why? What does this benefit NVIDIA if you're pricing or you're powering like most people out? And I correct me if I'm wrong. Evil, you're not going to have an issue because you guys bring in way more power to your house. Where we bring in 120, you guys bring in like 240, right?
Yeah, we're 240 volts straight to the socket in the house. Which has never made sense to me because you guys have the bigger fridge freezer units, and
I kind of knew
you
you were
have
gonna
less
say
power.
that. I kind of knew you were gonna say that, but it's true. You guys do have tiny, like really tiny. Like, I'm surprised you guys aren't starving over there. Your refrigerators are tiny, but
Yeah, but apparently we need double the power to power them.
yeah. Shadow says if just getting a better power supply is not going to be enough, then that's going to be a huge problem. And I accidentally what? Shut up. I absolutely agree with them. And Andrea says that we're just going to have to move.
Scotland's a good
So
place.
there you go. There you go. I really want to go to Scotland. So
240 volts straight through the socket. There you go.
we should be good to go. I think she
You could
wants to go to Scotland as well, to be honest with you.
you could power a whole room in American style fridge freezer.
We can bring our fridges with us.
No, you can't because remember their wall sockets are different. It's that
That's
three
true.
prong that face the different directions. It's what these two, and then that one little pole plug in the bottom.
Yeah. I'm sure we can get some kind of a converter or something though.
Yeah, okay. You're gonna shoot your condenser up into space, plug your American refrigerator into 220 volts.
Shadow said 240 volts in Scotland. Let's go. Yeah.
But guys, I want you to understand that you're gonna move from Falchion has a 650 watt power supply in a new system, and now you're gonna have to move to a 1250 watt power supply because of the power draw of a 12 series Intel chip and a 40 series graphics card.
Man.
Wait till this is the 4090. Wait till the 4090 Ti comes out. What's the power draw on that thing?
Wow. That's gonna be insane.
Yeah,
So
I 650 watts as well, so I'd need to upgrade. But
well,
it
I
took me long
have
enough to get a 30 series.
in my
Right.
unit right now, I have a 750.
I mean, I think with somewhat new, we were very slowly creeping up towards a minimum 1,000 watt power supplies. I
It
think
seems
when
like
you
a
were
bunch of
creeping up,
gamers are going to be calling the electrician to run those utility sockets. What we normally use for like our AC units, which has 20 amps on it, you're going to have those utility sockets to connect your gaming PC now.
That's insane, dude.
So we've been looking at this, talking about the more powerful cards, but they're not just more powerful, they're more power hungry.
Apparently.
And
Man.
I just want us to be aware of it because I was watching Jay's 2 cents and I'm listening to what they call it TDP, total drawn power for the units. And I'm like, he said how much? And then I'm thinking about adding that up with everything else that's in the room. And I'm like, we're at the limit of our sockets. You know, you're going to have those utility sockets run to connect your gaming PC if the power draw keeps going in this direction. And not to mention, if you're going to have a card with that much power draw, are we going to have to go water cooled? Because you're going to have some big hawking fans to cool that card.
Wow. I already can barely hear over the fans that I have on my PC now. See,
Thoughts, fellas? Thoughts?
I just want to go back to console gaming now.
Yeah, right. Keisha and Shadowfire, they look back at us with disdain. Look at those poor little console players. They're like, they're so cute. We can see what the artist is trying to do.
Man.
And guys, and this is for you too, Shadowfire. I'm sorry. While I'm talking to Shadowfire, let me throw this in because we had talked about this before. Fashion, if you would. So I wanted you to see this.
Complication and bogged down by huge budgets. But thanks to the MetaHuman creator, artists can create photorealistic digital humans in a matter of minutes and for free. Welcome to the final video in our 3-part series where we'll explore how the Unreal Engine 5 ecosystem will blur the lines between indie and AAA development. In our first 2 videos, we established how UE5 empowers developers to build unprecedentedly detailed worlds filled with next-generation lighting. This video will dive into how MetaHuman Creator democratizes cutting-edge digital humans for all developers.
MetaHuman Creator is a cloud-based pixel-streamed tool for creation of high-quality character assets. It is designed to be easy to use with almost zero learning curve. It is for practically everyone and does not require any specialist knowledge, but with it, you can create a professional asset.
What MetaHuman Creator is trying to do, and the Unreal ecosystem as a whole, we want to make the process of representing reality really easy, right? And effectively, it's a tool that basically compresses, weeks or even months worth of work that it usually takes to create a photoreal character, and it compresses that into like as little as a couple of minutes, and that reduces sort of the grind of creating geometry or cleaning up textures, and it gives people that time back to be creative.
We sat down with Alvaro Garcia Martinez to talk about how his small team over at Mayhem Mirror Studios is leveraging MetaHuman Creator in their tactical co-op game, Creep.
We started to use MetaHuman from day one. We found a way of bringing the technology of MetaHuman into our custom 3D sculpted faces. We did some shooting, we did some cinematics, we tested, and obviously we were pretty happy because when we put both things together, art direction and technology, you can get the best results.
You know this. Our DNA is not ready. It is not our moment.
The biggest project that we used metahumans on was definitely Matrix Awakens, where metahumans were used to populate this huge megacity, as well as to create the main story characters. I'm particularly proud of the player character that is actually the preset metahuman that we announced the MetaHuman Creator product with. So we've taken that preset and we've built another costume and hairstyle for her, but otherwise she's identical to the metahuman that you can download on the bridge. MetaHuman Creator is placed in that sort of sweet spot where characters look real enough to tell a story, but without sort of getting close to the uncanny valley.
We put a lot of work into the grooms, the facial hair, the makeup, and all those details that are really important in kind of creating a sense of identity. The other aspect, the underlying rigging system really helps as well. The subtle changes in expression, that's all part of communication, right? That like unspoken communication. And it's those aspects that really kind of help the digital humans feel like they could be real people. And, people can connect to them, can empathize with them. And this is just the tip of the iceberg. I think that when people start experimenting and combining these with other technologies, then I think we're going to really see this kind of snowball effect of new applications and experiences.
I think what is really exciting about MetaHuman is not just the technology itself, it is having this in your own home, free. I come from a VFX background, and I used to see this kind of models in Hollywood movies. So I think that is going to create a revolution in how you create content.
In the last year since we've launched, over 1 million of metahumans were created. And it's amazing to think about many experiences that will create. So why don't you pick your own and start telling your story?
Question the very nature of your reality and play around with the MetaHuman Creator when you download Unreal Engine 5 for free today. Terms and conditions apply. In case you missed.
So
wow. Oh, there it is. But no, wow. Like seriously, wow.
And so to me, I feel like that's going to be the impetus for wanting to get those new monitors, those new graphics cards to power those monitors, especially when you start talking about 4K 120. Remember, we haven't started seeing. No. Falchion is the worst example of that.
How is this my how in the world did this become my fault?
Falchion, as we talked about Horizons Forbidden West, noticing the difference in Aloy E's face, Falchion, he gets into all of those nuances to get him into the game, to immerse him in that game.
And this is a bad thing?
And so for me, yeah, not so much. I'm okay. I could make do. I had to talk, and oh wait, let me get this in. Andrea, I had to talk Falchion out of getting or being so concerned with this 4K 120 because I was like, Falchion, what are you going to play that on? Do you even have a monitor that can? And he was like, no, not so much. So I talked him down, Andrea. I'm on your side.
Shadow says he's good with what he has right now. He says 3 years from now.
Yeah, but that's what I'm talking about, Shadowfire, is that as you saw that Unreal, can you imagine that? Like when you look at games like what they did in Detroit, Almost Human,
Detroit
Becoming Human, yeah, that game, the facial expressions in that were really good. And I don't believe that was Unreal 5.
No.
So can you imagine the upgrade to that? Horizons, that's a really good looking game. That other game, Sansua, I can't remember.
Oh,
the
Hellblade.
name. Hellblade.
Sinuous Sacrifice.
Can you imagine those facial expressions upgraded to Unreal 5?
Well, the new Hellblade is going to be in Unreal 5. So, and
you're welcome, Andrea.
You should see that.
I'm here for you.
This month sometime. They should show it at their showcase, I would believe. But just the last thing that they showed was in Unreal Engine 5, and so yeah, it looks and you got to understand, right? It might seem out there to you guys, but I've been gaming, right? I've been seriously playing video games since the 1970s, right? And you guys can hop on. A lot of you guys can hop on Minecraft, right? And think that it's this wonderful game, and it may be like it could be the funnest game ever released, but me, where I started, my whole dream, right, was to get away from those graphics, right? Where it was just like these giant pixels moving around on the screen or what have you. And yeah, they have ray tracing on Minecraft now and everything, but I cannot get past. It's like stepping backwards for me, right? And so yeah, this like what you see in Unreal 5 and that video specifically, right? Like they showed something in Unreal 5, then that guy started talking, then they showed something else, and the lines were blurred for me. Like which was the real guy talking, right? And that's what I've been waiting for and hoping for all my gaming life, right? And so yeah, I mean, the problem is though, if we are getting to a point in all of this where we have to start we have to bring in an electrician into our homes to make these cards run. To do that, I want to do that. My wife may not want to. My wife may not allow that to happen. But
dude, have you met yourself?
That's
Mr. First World Problems?
That's what I dream of. And yeah.
So I don't know who you trying to convince there, sir.
Yeah, I'm just saying that I'm all for it. I want it. I want it now, but I do have to be mindful that I'm married and I have to think of my wife and the expense of rewiring my house.
Cheaper just moving to Scotland, I'm telling you.
The hardest battle
Yeah.
in the mind. That is what Dillian taught her. With every defeat, the dark rot will grow and soon it will take her soul. But for now, at least, she still has control of her mind. And she will fulfill her vow.
Is this the latest one, Geek?
Yes. This is 2.
Listen to me, Senua. The goddess Hela lies behind the gate to Helheim. To open the gate, you must first face the gods that guard it. The god of fire.
I mean, I'm not going to play this whole video, but I just wanted you to see the fidelity in her face. You just saw the sadness in her eyes.
The land of the dead.
And Shadowfire and Keisha, as you guys are PC game players, the whole thing you went there for is that updated experience.
In the beginning, there was nothing but dark.
Yeah, I guess that's right? I mean, yeah. If you're moving from console to PC, it's for it's for better, right? So
fidelity, the fidelity of a console game.
Giant was born and was named Ymir. The ice continued to drip, and the power of the void gave life to
this is a hard
and
game to
it
play.
became
I don't know if
a
any of
cow
you guys played it.
whose milk fed the giant. That's right, a cow that you weren't expecting.
It deals with a lot of mental health stuff.
Yes.
It's really difficult to get through.
Because I've said it on the first one. I said a few times, I was like, she got problems. And I'm saying, just look at how good this looks. So when you start pushing those high frame rates, I just want you to know that this is an expensive habit.
Fire giant has answered.
Expensive hobby.
Comes from a land old
Yeah.
than mankind.
That's actually the very thing that Andrea said to me the other day. My hobbies are way too expensive.
Find him, Senua. And spill his blood.
Yeah, Shadow,
It is
this
surely
game
trippy.
really get into your head if you're not
She
careful.
found the wretched old fool. on her
Really
way
get
back
into
from
your
the
head.
wilds. An outcast, was badly burnt all over. She took pity on him, for he was not long for this world.
That's why I'm holding back on this one.
We spoke of his own darkness.
I'm actually really excited for this game.
The Northmen.
Just to see where she goes from the last one. But Geek, we're over an hour, and this time it's absolutely your fault. I have a question, Keisha. Something happened the other day, and it made me think of you. And so I've only ever heard Geek when other people say your name. You've never said your name to me. You've never told me your name. Is your name Keisha or Kesha? Like, I saw that the other day. I was watching something on television and I saw the pronunciation and I'm like, it's not Keisha, is it? Like, we've been pronouncing her name wrong this whole time for like 3 years and she never corrected us. So is it one Keisha or is it two Kesha? I really gotta know. Keisha. Okay, thank you. It's okay. So we've got it right. Thank you. I appreciate you letting me know. That's really been bugging me for the past few days because I felt bad that we've been calling you a name that wasn't your name. So guys, we missed a couple of stories, and we'll try and get into them next week. Investors urge an investors group are urging shareholders to vote out Blizzard's Activision Blizzard's directors. Also, a female avatar was sexually assaulted in the Meta VR platform. That's crazy to think about, and so we'll try and get into we'll touch on that next week. Also, Evil has some information on Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. We'll look to get into that. And even though he wasn't prepared for it this week, even though he put it in the topics, I'm not gonna say anything. Geek has some information on Grand Theft Auto 6 and kind of excited to hear what that information is all about. So, Geek, you want to let us know where the people can find you?
And now today I don't have it up.
No, it's I couldn't. It was too high. That was my bad.
Geekmaster NYC without the vowels on the Xbox. It's just Geekmaster, GKMSTR, at PlayStation, Twitch, Steam, and Discord, and Uplay. And I mean, on Uplay, it's Geekmaster NYC, fully spelled out. And Wednesday Wise is coming back. We were prepared this week, but with the Uvalde, Texas thing, and our hearts and prayers go out to the families and everyone there, because that was just ridiculous. And there was no way to make light of that, especially with the resistance of lawmakers to even look at doing something to try to secure that the people who are able to get weapons are law-abiding citizens and not having any kind of mental illness. Why he needed to go to a school and kill 10 and 11-year-olds is beyond me. What did they ever do to him that's where he would go? So hopefully we'll be back, and hopefully the world will be less crazy and could leave us in a place where we could use some levity and sarcasm and just talk about the craziness of the world. And that's at Wednesday Wise. Evil, where can the people find you? Sorry.
Thanks, Shadow, and thanks for coming out. Thank you, Andrea. We hope you have a great week as well. You too, Shadow. You too, Keisha, and everybody else. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Geek.
So, Evil, where can the people find you?
Nope.
Oh, he went to Plank first. Sorry.
Nope. I just hit the wrong button. That's my bad. There it is.
Mine was a lot easier this time because I went through and completely changed everything, so it's all simple. Steam, Xbox, Epic, Discord, Twitch, and YouTube. It's Evil Scotsman, swapping out the O and the I for a 0 and a 1. And hopefully next weekend, me and Tweety Pie will be back streaming again. You can find her over on Tweety Pie 94 on Twitch.
Nice. Thank you, Keisha. Got it. And yeah, you guys all have a wonderful Memorial Day if you guys celebrate it. I don't think Evil celebrates it in his country, but if you're going to be out there doing things, be out there doing things safe. Be careful. If you can't be careful, name it after me. Anyways,
Where can they find Plank, sir?
let's find out. Plank can be found on Twitch as Plank GJE. On Steam, he is PJ Danger. On Discord, he's just Plank. On Instagram, he's Plank909. On Pokemon Go, he's 591431580040. And why in the world Plank has all these places where he can be found? You know, if the government's ever looking for you, Plank, you're in trouble because they got you, like, hands down.
And then, most importantly, where can they find you, Falchion?
So I can be found on the PlayStation, Twitch, and the Steam as Falchion757. On the Xbox, I'm Falchion GSA. Here on YouTube, you know where to find me, Borderless Gaming GSA. Want to thank you all for hanging out. Really appreciate it. Can't do it without you. And we will see you next week. So for Evil and Geek, I'm Falchion. You know me. I'm Ghost. 2 fingers is peace. Later.
Episode 53 is in the can.
I got to do the music by mouth now, guys. Sorry.
Enjoy your Memorial.